forget all common sense. Don't speak as I try to leave, 'cause we both know what we choose. If you pull, then I'll push too deep and I'll fall right back to you. 'Cause you are the piece of me I wish I didn't need. Chasing relentlessly, still fighting, I don't know why. If our love is tragic,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome for this round 4 of our Ginetta Cup from the East London circuit. Tonight is going to definitely be an action-packed night, and with me in the commentating booth, we've got the ever so infamous Mr. Tommy Leary Moss. Good evening, Tommy.
Good evening, Charl. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, Tommy, we can always complain, but we rather not. I think these guys on track has definitely got too much nerves on their sides. As we can see, these guys are already battling very hard, and in practice times are incredibly fast, 120s roughly.
Yeah, no, definitely. And these cars ain't some of the easiest. I mean, if you come out of the corner and you're just a little bit too much underpowered too quickly, it tends to slide the arse out and you have no control over it. You can try and catch it into a drift. Maybe you'll succeed, but 90% of the time, you are completely losing control over it.
Yeah, but these Ginettas are nice cars, Tommy. They're definitely not difficult cars to drive, and they're actually very, very fun cars to take around a track. One of my favorite.
Definitely, they're nice and easy to drive. It's just, like I said, it's tricky coming out of a corner. If you're just too much on the power, you end up losing it. But other than that, they're rather easy to drive. The setup is quite easy to do on it as well. But you need to know what you're doing for it to be successful.
Yeah, fun cars, definitely, as we've seen. And make for some very good names. Likes of Dom. I mean, quite a popular racer, Africa. Jason Null is there. I think he is. Well, we've got actually 3 locals here. We've got Blake Creer, Jason Null, and Clark, all us from the hometown racetrack of East. Oh, I think these guys should be the hot favors. They know these tracks very well, real life and in.
I wouldn't throw away. Hi guys, sorry.
Oh, hello, Melvin. Good evening.
We've got Melvin here with us too.
All the way from Windhoek.
Wolfers actually, but okay.
Wolfers, sorry, buddy.
Anyways, I wouldn't throw away Dennis Mitchell. He's been quickest on the looping practice this whole week. He is at this current stage almost a second quicker than anybody else. So he really has gotten grips to this little Ginetta, and he loves the car, he loves the track. So I think he's going to be the man to beat. Top 3 in the championship: Blake Creer, Michael Russ from Namibia, and Dennis Mitchell. With Danny Wright, he had a bit of a bad event the last time out. And so he's got some work to do, and he's definitely going to be gunning for podium finish.
About 50 go and have quality start. Guys, have a look at our Sunrise Africa and Last Breather. Sorry, we are back here, and I think got some problems with my microphones, but I can see this now. Try and sort it out. Otherwise, we have Tom Melvin. I'll just back in.
Okay, you're there, Charl?
Yeah.
Cool.
Right, so now over time, we've got qualifying up, and like you said, one of the fastest times tonight we've got here is Mitchell, definitely at a 120.6, and that one. I'm having.
Yeah, Stewie. Yeah, Stewie. The first time out in the Ginettas, he's fallen in love with this car. So he's been talking on Discord all week how much he likes it, and you can see the pace is right there. He's right up Peter Gelderman is also one of the better endurance drivers of riding with SRA. He's in third currently. Jason Nell, local man, loves this track. Running in fourth, followed by Dani van Rooyen, who I can assure you will get into the 121s very quick. Looking at the laps, I mean, they only had about 2 or 3 timed laps. We've got a new penalty system running where if they cut the track, they will get penalised. So I think they might be getting used to that as well.
Yeah, we do.
And I'm pretty sure they are.
No, we're going to do. And I mean, Melvin, if I have a look, and I can tell you guys a little bit about the circuit. I've never been there. I wish to actually attend there one day, but this circuit was built in 1934, and original circuit was 23.4 kilometers long. That is crazy long for a circuit in South Africa. And then it was shortened a little bit in 1963 to only 17.7, which is still very long track. And the fastest corner, which is definitely Porras Pass, which is the fastest corner in the southern hemisphere, as I believe it to be. So yeah, some of the records were set also in there. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. Fast corners, I saw in practice, flat-footed, 230, 240 k's an hour. The guys were going through Potters, and then into the next one as well, which is Rifle. So yeah, there's going to be a fast race tonight, and I think the most action we will probably have is in Cocobana, and then through the S's. I've seen in practice a lot of guys that got spun out there.
Yeah, they actually run into the limiter on the main track. The gearing is way too short for these cars. They're all running about 238.5, 239, and all of them are literally going into the limiter. So it's going to be no advantage on the straight there. So it's going to be the run out of the last hairpin onto the main straight, and that's where the passes are going to happen.
That's it. We've got qualifying already started, and these guys are out of these pits like a bat out of hell. And it looks like they already won a race, because this is hell of an action pack tonight.
Now they've only got 15 minutes to get a lap time in, and if you put 2 wheels onto the grass, your time is invalidated. So they really want to try and make it count for them.
Yeah, you definitely can't set a foot wrong here, so to speak. And let's see what happens tonight. Local favourites we've got here. I think we've got an good old racing legend, Mr. Richard Clark's also joining us. And I must say, Melvin, you know, at 4 o'clock we had a lot of cancellations. And a lot of guys that said they might not make it because of load shedding and all that other stuff that's happening currently. But if I look at this, we've got almost 19, 20, 21 competitors tonight.
Yeah, some of the guys, I think Tommy is one of them who's running off a generator, just making sure they can actually race. So yeah, the guys are going to extremes to get into this and to enjoy the evening with us. Not sure what Tommy is, but
I'm right. Yeah, I'm listening to your conversations. Yes, with the load shedding things, it is a bit difficult on our side, but luckily our load shedding was suspended, so no need for the generator tonight. So let's hope everything goes well. But unfortunately, I am also sitting out this race, just like you, Melvin, and catching up on the commentating side, enjoying putting out a stream and putting on a good show for our viewers out there.
Technology, we always got a gremlin or two cramming in, and let's hope tonight we don't have too many of those, because it sometimes can actually make me sweat a little bit more than when we race.
Yeah, it happens, but I mean, yeah, looking at the times, Leon van der Westhuizen, one of the newer guys, putting in some really, really good times. He's practiced a lot this week, and he's currently at the forefront. Not sure if the timing system is correct yet, might be only on the outlaps, so that's going to change very, very quickly. Yeah, they should start posting times now. That's what I said. If they get a track cut, it's not going to pick up their time. So if you go off 2 wheels, your time is going to be invalidated. There we get the first time through now. Steven Sparks, Michael Rath goes quickest on 122 3.9. Ron Gous goes 121.9. So they are pushing it. Yeah, we speak a lot, and he likes the endurance part of it. He's more of an endurance guy, and he's enjoying the series a lot. Of course, you can get into a rhythm, do your pace. You don't need to do a pit stop. The tires seem to last. And they're going off the big time into the tire wall. Once you hit the grass in these cars, it's gone, it's over. There's no stopping. The speed is just too high. So that's going to be another factor in the race.
Yeah, Melvin, definitely. And these guys are fast. They're really pushing each other. Dennis Mitchell also now jumping in 121.4. So we've got Jamie Leach here running at 121.4. Then we've got Dennis at 121.4. And we've got Gous at 121.9. So it's really right on top of each other's heels. And then we've got Stu, McMichael, Donnie, Steven Sparks, and Peter Glob. Oh no, Peter's still on his flying lap. But there's a lot of 122s just jumping in.
I reckon that's going to be race pace pretty much, 122s.
It's normally about a second or two behind the top guys, so that's where we should be at the end of the day.
I'm actually not sure if Dennis has, if he is really pushing it, because he's only in the 121s now. There he comes in a very low 121, so he's gone on to pole. James Leach, also first time in the Ginettas, running in second. Peter Geldenhuis back up there in third. Michael Rust has dropped down to fourth, but not far off pace. Blake Creer fifth, Ron Gous sixth. Strangely enough, I can't see Donnie is still in the 122s. Not sure if he's running race field in qualifying or what exactly his plans are, because he's usually right up there in the top 3 or 4.
Well, I'm actually on his view at the moment, and by the looks of it, it seems like he's actually picking up the pace. His delta is up very high, so he might drop into the 121s within this lap. Otherwise, definitely the next lap, but he's really pushing it at the moment.
Also, we're saying hello to Mr. Hannes Basson, who's also joined us. So it's nice to see these guys. Oh, you just said it, Tommy. Look at that. Donnie van Rooyen, 121.2, just jumped all the way to pole.
That's Donnie for you.
We called it.
All the way from almost last to pole position. Let's see if we can maintain that lead, though.
Yeah, we still got 8 minutes to go of this qualifying, so a lot can happen.
Well, less than half a second covering the top 8, so it is close. For a short little 1 hour endurance, they are close on times.
Sorry, Melvin. Yeah, just check this timing out now. Again, we've got Johnson also that's in the fight here, and he's now sitting a good old 9th, but sometimes it's easier to be in the mid-pack than what you are in the front. I don't like to be in the front because, as you see there, Johnson just overcooking that corner, and he went super wide there through rifle.
Yeah, that's okay. If you go off where there's grass, it's gone. You're not going to catch it until you hit the tire wall. He was very, very lucky there getting away with it.
Oh no. See, those guys are hitting those corners as he's going through Coco Bonus now. They were doing 230s out flat foot, and then, down the beach straight, they're actually getting up also into the 200s before they hit hard into the brakes. And then, the S's has been interesting. Look at those skid marks all over the track the whole night, and we see Stu and Mac almost taking another line to the pits here.
Yeah, he's actually on the go-kart track now, if I'm correct.
No, definitely. Have you ever, guys, anywhere you guys have you been to East London?
No, I haven't been there yet.
To be honest.
It's one of those the towns that I've always threatened to visit, because everybody always says, you gotta go to London, you gotta go to East London. And I've been to Port Elizabeth for a lot of work, but I think one day I'll have the privilege to go there and go visit some of our races from that side.
Well, we've got friends there now, so.
It's always that. You gotta go visit them. Look at Jason now in 5th position in the pits. He's 121.7, which is also a really good time. It's nothing to be shy of. And then Michael Rush just dropping slightly back into that 6.
Well, if you have a look at the top 2, even the top 3, but especially between Dennis and Donnie, you've got 0.02 0.2 of a second gap between the two of them.
Well, if you look at Mitchell now and Donnie van Rooyen, that is 0.008 of a second between the two of them. And yeah, on the live stream, Vimpy, good evening, buddy. How are you? Good to see you back with us. But yeah, definitely, Tommy, good old close racing tonight. Geldenhuys also jumping in there. You know, Geldenhuys is an endurance guy. This is his forte. He likes the circuit racing more.
Strange, Jumpy is not racing tonight. Probably rooting for Mr. Leach. Because they're always together. And we've seen that some late evenings on the WhatsApp group.
There we've got James Leach talking about him as he's going through the start-finish now, and let's see what speed he's doing through Potters as he's going through 239 k's an hour, flat foot there, no lifting. That car's not even picking up a rear tire. Another 240 k's an hour through Rifle he goes here as well, not lifting for 240 k's an hour, and then hard on the brakes as he's slowing down for Coco Banas. So yeah, let's see what James's lap time's going to be as he's coming through.
He's actually using a lot of curb, and these cars, I don't know what he did to the setup because they hate curbs. You hit a curb, it throws you off completely. And he was making a lot of curb there, so he must have found something in the setup that's working for him here.
The only way you get to do this, Melvin, is practice, practice, practice. We've seen it. There's some of our guys that do 4,000 odd laps. Oh, and as we said that in the S's, James Leach just overcook it, and that cost us him. And tonight, the most action has been through the S's. The sweep, Beacon Bend, none of those has been any culprits yet, but the S's and Cox Corner has been a very good old entertaining race tonight.
Yeah, the S's does seem to catch you out. Hey there, Martin. Sad to not see you on track tonight, but we understand you've got some family commitments. But glad to see you on the stream, and yeah. Yeah, well, Jason talking out of the pit to us. What we'll do later on, boys, is we'll try and get the guys in here. We've got about a minute or so that we can pull some of the guys in here and have a chat with him and just see what they have to say. I think we might start with Richard Clark, quick, see if we can get some words out of him. Richard, you there? Richard, can you hear us?
I think he's too busy setting up that car. He's talking to his mechanics and his pit bosses.
Okay, well, we'll see in between races if we can get him in here.
As we look there, Stephen Sparks crossing the start-finish, and that has remained him. But then talking about that, James Leach just did a 0.3 of a second faster, putting 7th position. And then Geldenhuys also jumping in faster at 0.1, and then he in 3rd. I don't think we're going to see much of a difference between Mitchell van Rooyen and Geldenhuys. I think, Melvin, that's probably maybe early to call it, but I think Mitchell should have this pole. This is just a super fast time, 120.8. It's crazy fast.
He's about 0.2 seconds off of his quickest of a 120.6, and I mean he's been up there the entire practice sessions, the whole week. Donnie was right up there, but he just can't seem to get that edge that he needs.
Oh, look at that drift, and Mitchell just lost it into Kokobana as we just called him out. So he's on a fast lap. Now we're going to join and see what Donnie van Rooyen is going to do, and whether he'll actually be able to get a faster time in and put him into pole. 2 odd minutes to go. To the S as he goes. Look at the skid marks going through this corner, and yeah, beautiful handle. 140 k's an hour, 3rd gear. Saying that Donnie almost drifts as he's going through Coxie's here, then into the sweep, also 180. This is a fast track. I mean, East London is not slow, Melvin.
It's quick. It's proper quick. And just hi there. Nice to see you guys here. Sean, hey, Mr. Weber, how's it going? And then we've got Peter there. Peter also, well, he's up into 9th. But he usually comes from the back during the race. So, I mean, he's pretty much done for qualifying. You can see him sitting in pits, and as we still follow Donnie.
Yeah, Donnie not getting anything better there. He just slightly lost it on that last corner. Also now starting time there, Vic. As you track, as you're going into Potters Pass, flex quite a lot of this track, and not easy.
Yeah, at some parts you get direct sunly, and that makes it a bit tricky to concentrate on the lines. And but they're going to do it. They're crazy enough.
I've spoken to Jason earlier, and he mentioned that one of the guys that came times on the track coming in a car and is to get flat-footed spotters. He's have a set of
Kahunas.
let's say that. He didn't say that, but let's say that. But yeah, I believe them. Being at 200 odds and better, imagine what had to get up to.
Yeah,
all right,
it's crazy.
Guys, let me tell you something. 30 odd seconds to go of qualifying. A little bit about East London. Ocean. East London is one of South Africa's cities in the Cape. It's also known for all their beaches, Lahuna and also Cove Rock. Very good fossilized human animal footprints were found there, and it features one of, well, there's some good old, I think the Addo Elephant Park is close by. Lion, zebra, and other wildlife roam in separate game reserve. So, guys, if you ever want a good old holiday, go and visit East London. Go visit the guys there on the racetrack, and I'm a sim race. Hello, come have a beer.
Yeah, just checking the YouTube channel again. It seems like the mics are cutting out again, Charl. I don't know if it's on your side. Not quite sure. James also saying sound is breaking up. I'll have a quick look here. Hang on.
One of those, we're gonna have a technical. That definitely happening. But Melvin has got to be with the releases. But finishing off, qualifying is over. Last laps are coming in now. Mitchell is definitely trying to get faster as he's going
and
through.
He's done it. He's done a 120.4, which is his fastest lap he's ever done on this track.
That's it. Look at Sean now also flying. He's pulled out. Donnie van Rooyen is still on track, trying to go faster, and he doesn't. 121.
Once you hit the grass, you don't catch it. You saw Mitchell there just going, he touches the grass, he loses it, and he goes straight into the wall. And yeah.
That's it. Geldenhuis now also.
Oh no, Dennis just disconnected.
Dennis disconnected. It's going to put him right in the back, or actually start from pit lane.
It might be that when he hit that wall that he... Probably with the Logitech, you do get to bend the wheel a bit, and he might just be resetting quick.
Yeah, so
if he can get back in quick enough, he should be good to be back on pole.
Oh,
well, he's busy loading back
there
in.
We go.
He's back up on
got
pole.
it. All right, guys. While we've got a little bit of a time, go and have a look what you're missing from East London. Right.
Every man has to be his own savior. I know I can make it on my own if I try, but I'm searching for a great heart to stand me by underneath the African sky. A great heart to stand me by. I'm searching for the spirit of the great heart to hold and keep me by. I'm searching for the great heart under African skies. Sometimes I feel that you really know me. Sometimes there's so much you can show me. There's a highway of stars across the heavens. There's a whispering song of the wind in the grass. There's a rolling thunder across the savannah. A hope and a dream at the edge of the sky. And your life is a story like the wind. Your life is a story like the wind.
Think
We're back now with 30 seconds to go, and race will start. It's quite a long interval, and I think these guys are shaking a lot as nerves are running quite high.
Yeah, well, it's an hour to go. They've got 15 seconds counting down. The red light's about to go out. Hopefully we don't have any jump starts, any incidents. They know it's a long race, so they should keep it clean, we hope. And I think at this stage, Mitchell is going to run away with it unless Dani can get a good pull away and
there's already contact. Michael Rust and them had a huge contact at the back. Oh, Blake is also off. One of the locals. Okay, get out cars off the track quickly. I just want to jump off and back on front. Who's on the track? Tommy, Melvin, just check yourself.
Well, I'm live on Blake at the moment. Well, I was on Microras. I see he's running wide down. There's some lag out there.
Dani and Peter Gelden has just got it coming together there. Not quite sure what happened there.
There's some lags. One of the cars was lagging, so it was jumping over the track, and unfortunately ended up with some people that got connected there with each other.
Steve Blake now also joining there from the back. Stewie Mack also had a brunt of that one, but these guys will recover. Now to the front, we've got Mitchell slightly getting a lead out in the front, and then Michael Rust now in second position, being chased down with Steven Sparks and Jason Null. So let's root for Jason, as he's a local favourite, and see if he can get it done. But we've got James Leach also here in fifth position, as these guys are going right over into the back straight here.
Oh, there's still a lot in it. I mean, that's what I said earlier. Michael loves the endurance racing because you keep your head clean, you get through. Not quite sure what happened there with Dani and Peter Geldenhuis.
The more touch here at the back, we've got Van der Merwe, Peter Geldenhuis, and also again we've got Van Wyk in that mid-back accident there. Shame, Rian van der Westhuizen, apologies, also off.
Well, looking up front again, if you look all the way down from third position on Steven Sparks, and you actually have a look in his rearview mirror, you've got a train of about 5 to 6 cars that's just running right on the back of his heels. They are seriously close to each other coming down these straights.
Yeah, no, lap times are quite fast here as these guys are going through. Michael Rust is still taking up second position, down beach straight into the S's. That's going to be an interesting one. And so far we had quite a clean S's as guys went through. Peter Grober now also still in the pack. He's now in sixth position, settling quite nicely in. And nice to see Harness also there, making him to 7. I think he got quite a clear all that mess, Tommy.
Yeah, no, definitely has. But I see James Leach just ran a little bit wide, allowing Peter Grobler to actually come closer to him. And right on the back of Peter is Harris, and then we've got Johnson right behind him as well. They are doing quite well. It was a little bit of a rough start, but I can see the guys are really setting in now. But coming here from the back in 10th position is Donnie van Rooyen, and it's actually pushing very, very hard to catch back up to the leaders of the pack.
Mike Mitchell setting 120. Normally that seconds off the race qualifying pace these guys are going. And let's see what these guys are doing. James Leach now still fighting for that one, trying to get up. Big old fight in the front as well. Sparks now trying to close this gap off and coming under.
Yeah, no, definitely. I can see Jason now is right on the heels of Steven Spark. And not too far back is James Leach as well. But between Jason and James is about a second gap. And between Sparks and Nal, there's about only a 0.5 of a second gap. So if Nal gets these aces right, he can be right on the back of Sparks going down there to the main straight.
There's going to be an impact. I was going to hearing Coxies and then also quite a. But we can see now we've got Johnson there just overtook in Harness, and he's now gaining up. But Donnie is coming back. He's definitely on the pace. And then look at this big old fight here between Richard Clark and Gous, which is right behind him. These two Ginettas, as they're going into Beacon, let's see who's going to have the later braking. There you can see Gous trying his move onto Clark, but not making that one stick. But now this has got to be a good old drafting set. And they look like they're teammates.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have the skin for Gous, but the two of them is really having a nice dice out there and a clean battle going down here into Potters.
So closest battle now, two of them. We've got Van Rooyen and Basson. Look at them. Donnie Van Rooyen's now right on the back of Harness. He's trying to close down and getting this position back. Donnie driving super hard. And then we've got another good old battle here. I see this is gone. But now also still only 0.4 from Spark. So Jason is now also really hard driving. Local bookie. He knows this track. He knows where the grip is. He can make going through boxes. Right, we've got James Lee actually gaining. Only sitting also 0.3 behind now. Now fell back a little. And gonna be long race still.
Yeah, sorry for that. My ping just skyrocketed. I don't know why, so I got out there before I messed something up. Just looking at the chat here, I'm following you guys on YouTube now, and just got a message from Mr. Richard Clark himself saying, sorry, I was in the loo. So that explains what happened on the start bit.
No, that's perfect. Now Van Wyk into the pits. He just pulled in and pulling out. So I wonder if that was just a quick tyre change, or he probably would have had to pay some of his damage he had. Calderon is now making his way up. Look at these guys through this fast foot in the hook, as they call it. Hard under the braking. Simray screws in the house, and he's really gaining back. There's taken another one. James Leach just, I think he had a big spun off because right into number 12 position now.
Yes, he did have a big spun off. He actually went into the tyre wall, regained the track safely now, and he's back trying to catch up to the guys ahead of him.
Right, only lap 4 now. We've got Mitchell still in the lead. He's now gaining up quite a lot. Sparks, he's already almost 5 seconds, Tommy, from Steven. Nice to see Steven Sparks also in the second position. He quite a forward there, and I see they are catching some of the back market, obviously, but that was Rian that just joined out of the pit. So then look at Grobbies. Grobbies is now putting big pressure onto Nal, as I think Nal can see him score coming ever so slightly becoming bigger and bigger into that rear view mirror.
Yeah, no, definitely, Charl. I'm actually at the back on Donnie's car, and him and Sean is having a nice go at it, but it seems like Donnie got the better run out into the main straight, and I'm actually just waiting on their view because they're going side by side through Potters, but luckily Sean just backed out of that one. I think he just said, nah, he's not going to go for that one. But Donnie made the pass stick. Now he's working his way up to Peter Grobler again.
Oh,
who is
no.
actually right on the back of Jason now, and now he's on the back of Steven Sparks. So this is going to end up being a three-way battle for that second position.
It's still change in the next 52 minutes, so it's still a long time to go. And yeah, Grobler is definitely up. I mean, you know what Peter, quite a good driver. And one thing, situational awareness and a this guy can drive millimeters.
And that is very true. He can do that, but he's very well known in the tracks. I mean, he's one of our main admin guys. He's one of the best drivers that is on the track, as well as he was, I think, if I'm not wrong, he was the one that built this track for us to race on.
Oh, he's busy. Race factor. Making things. Now at the back, have a look. Blake Creer is still in the fight. He's now putting pressure onto Hannes Bas in 3, and Blake is catching crazy fast. Now we're already down in 2, as he's now catching onto Blake. Hannes Basson, but Blake Creer and Peter Geldenhuys, all three of them in a hell of a battle at the back here. And we saw Michael Russ also in the pits now. So yeah, I think some of the guys are the amateurs. They know they've got 50 minutes. Now big battles. I think now we've got 2 battles happening. But Grobler, Nel, that's fighting it out, and Van Rooyen, and then you've got the battle in the back between Geldenhuys, Creer, and Basson. So yeah, I think this is now into the S's. You can look here. Peter is pushing Blake from the back, and Blake is just trying to. Blake is in a situation because he has to attack and defend at the same time. Look at Blake now, a hell of a drive out of that corner. Boxies they go. And Blake is looking on the outside now. Harness needs. Come on, Blake has just lost
Blake
it.
just lost
Unfortunately, that rear just let go, and that has costed Blake that one. Aye, mate, that was bad. Shame, man.
I know that was, like we said, these cars just doesn't like those curves. The moment you hit that curb or that grass patch on the side, you end up losing it completely.
Oh, now look at Geldenhuys making a move on Harness Basson, as Basson is trying to defend, but nice for him, he's actually pulled off and letting Peter Geldenhuys through, obviously knowing that Geldenhuys is much faster. Geldenhuys almost clipping the grass there as he went through Potters. Crazy fast, into rifles they go, and they're going to be hard on the brake, but I think Geldenhuys is going to make his way back here. Back to the front, now Grobler fight.
And I see Grobler actually went down a bit from Jason and them, but he's ever so slightly catching back up. But they actually settled in quite nicely. It seems like they're just maintaining that space in between each other. And I mean, there is still a whole 49 minutes left of this race. Although Steven Sparks just ran wide off the track, and Jason Nell and Peter Grobler just took that place from him. And if I'm not mistaken, even Donnie should be able to gain a position there on Sparks. Now it's a big battle between Jason and Grobler going up for second position. Yes, Donnie did move up into 4th position, so he should be chasing down. And ever so soon, we should have another 3-way battle going for second position once Donnie actually catches up to them.
We can see Africa and Jack Tool Racing. Him chasing Jason now. Biggest fight, I think, on this track. But, they were just had a spun off. Oh, no, it was, I think it's Rian that's just off to let these fast guys go. We're hard under the braking here for Coco Banner. Let's see what's going to happen here. Jason going to let go, or Peter going to capitalize through this one. Both of them are fast. Jason, obviously the local guy. Peter, obviously one of the designers and the makers of the track. So it's going to be an interesting one. Who knows this track better? The local boykie or the guy that's actually made every little corner and crooked track? Hard under the braking into the S's. Jason making this one stick as he goes slightly there. Right, you can see Ginetta's drive. I just love this car. I absolutely love this Ginetta.
Yeah, the only thing is the longer you race of it, the less tire grip you get. Although the grip on the track goes up a bit, but you lose your grip on your tires. So it becomes a lot trickier to drive these cars the longer you actually race. So it's all going to come down to who reserved the tires better, who's more constant out on the track.
Another good old battle here. Johnson and Stephen Sparks. As Stephen Sparks just fell back to 5th, but built pressure on him, and he's going to start up. James Leach now making his back. He's already up to 10. And I'm just looking at the board now, and think about this. We had Mitchell in the front, Mitchell in the back. Then we had Nell in the top. We had Grobler on the back. We had Russ on the top. Russ is in the back. So it's just been changing and swapping the whole evening. There's not been one consistent position held, I think, except the commentators in the pit lane.
Definitely most consistent for the night.
Okay, sorry guys, I'm back. I just had to quickly call my IT guy, and he just fixed my internet quick. I had a massive spike and we couldn't get it down, so he just quickly sorted it online. So yeah, what I missed.
All good, thanks for joining back. Well, not too much. We had a bit of competition up in the front, and Stephen Sparks ran a bit wide, ending up losing 2 to 3 positions. And now there's a nice dice going on between Jason Nell and Peter Grobler. Donnie is catching up to them, but they're also not fighting, but they've got back markers that's now getting into the play as well. So it makes it a slight bit more interesting and giving the guys that's a bit further back more opportunity to catch up to them in the front.
Yeah, no, it's been an interesting one, but now quickly look at Gous here onto Clark as these guys are starting to catch each other. It's nice to see him in the battle, and Richard Clark has definitely got his hands full. Gonna look in that rear view mirror. Let's have a look and see what his view is like. And you can rear view mirror there's dead center. Got this guy 4th gear. Richard hard on this, trying to make it through, and there we go. Close on the outside, and make it stick. I think he's gonna push through, and yeah, there we go. So I don't know if Gous was faster or Richard actually let him.
It might be team orders. I mean, but all of them is are running in the SRA cars. And Richard knows the track really well, so it might have been a.
Up there we go, Sean Johnson. I saw him in the pits, and then back on. I think a lot of trouble. Right now, Jason Nell, 2nd position. Mitchell is running away with it so far, 10.5 seconds. I think he's in the group. The guy doesn't get any coverage. He's so far ahead, I think he's down.
He's 12 seconds ahead of Jason at this stage. Peter Grobler now right on to Jason Nell. So what do you make a move there?
Well, Peter's been trying, Melvin. He's been trying quite a lot. And I think they're just so
Donnie van Rooyen also catching up quite quick to them if I look at the times.
Yep, Donnie was on the top. He went back and now he's right up to the front. So it's going to be soon. Geldenhuys, Van Rooyen, Grobler, Nell and Mitchell's going to have a big old battle. I mean, okay, I think Mitchell's running away with it, but there's going to be a battle for 2nd of 5 super fast drivers. Then you can see Leach is all catching up.
Yeah, this should be towards the end with 40. Well, it's still 44 minutes to go, so anything can happen from here onward. Then I think running away with it, as I said, he's got. If he doesn't make a mistake, he's got this one in the back. Donnie fighting all the way from the back up to 4th now. That is a job well done, to be honest.
Melvin, you know a little bit more about the Ginettas. An hour and a half's race, or an hour's race, guys going to need to make a pit stop. Are they going to be feeling how's the tyres going to work?
Well, the tyres actually last quite long, to be honest. And as the car gets lighter, it doesn't really even drop that much pace. They lose about half a second to a second at most. So the car is really consistent. And I think on this track, I don't think the tyre wear will be too much like it was on, for example, Tony Rust or Killarney a couple of weeks back.
Oh, look at Peter Grobler now. Sorry, guys. He's coming into Potters. He's making a big old move onto Jason. He's catching now fast. For some reason, I think Grobis has got it. He ran quite close to the cross there. I think he just also nipped himself that in Bethlehem. But Grobler now. Let's see. Coco Banner's going to be an interesting one. And I think if something's going to happen, it's going to be on this lap.
Yeah, Peter is attacking now. He's really attacking Jason, and Jason is going to make the car as wide as possible. It is his home turf. He's been looking forward to this for now, I think, 3 or 4 weeks. So He's not going to make it easy, but Peter is an old hand.
Peter's
and
there.
he's going
Peter's
for a
making a
Will he
move
make it stick?
into the S's. Let's see if Jason's going to give him the space. Oh, he's just pushed Jason there slightly, and I think Jason was a clever one, but just tapping it off there. Well done.
Definitely, because just by tapping off there, but he might be able to get a decent run out on this little straight that you get up to before the main straight. So maybe he can come back and overtake Peter again.
Yeah, into this back straight. Yeah.
You can see he's closing up hard on the back of Peter there.
But guys, look at Stewie Max. Stewie is also in the race there. That little battle has allowed Stewart to catch up with almost a second and a half. So Stewart is now in the battle here, and that has automatically pulled Van Rooyen in, because now we go down the main straight. We've got
Mitchell has gone off. Dennis Mitchell has gone off. He's spun it all on his own.
Oh, there we go. We can see him actually now. He's not even trying to recover. Let's see if he's stuck. Yep, I think wheels are turning. I think he might be stuck here, and we can see Donnie van Rooyen go forth. Yeah, Mitchell jumped to the pits. Unfortunate. You called it. Shame, man.
So that puts Peter Grobbe in the lead. I don't think he was expecting this.
When something like that happens to somebody, I'm too scared to say something because I can feel his pain. I'm literally too scared. Shame, man, that's bad. James Leach also in the pits here, as we can see him coming in. I think it might be for a fuel, or could be even a drive-through, as I see him just coming straight in and out of that pits.
Dennis was running, and obviously he will lose a lap now. But if he comes out, if you look at the results currently, or the current standings, he can pretty much still finish well up in the points, keep the points together to stay in the lead of the championship.
Jason now pushed very hard, sorry Melvin, into Coco Banners. He tried to get past Peter. Oh, sorry, that was a Beacon, and he tried to make that move, but that was a risky move.
Yeah, Peter, as I said, and Grobis is an old hand at this, and he builds this track again, so he knows it inside out, he knows every bump.
So we said we wonder who knows it better, the real guy, the local guy from Jason Null, or Peter Grobler, which is obviously the guy that knows the virtual track quite well.
I have a question though for you guys. Do you think that Mitchell has a pit lane penalty lock on his controls, that he's still standing in the pit?
Yeah, I think.
Or has he actually retired from the race?
I think he might have a pit lane. He might have a penalty. It's most likely.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, he was stuck for quite a while. I think he got stuck in the sand, and then when you jump to the pitch, you get that 200 and something odd second penalty. Sometimes not that bad. He gives you like a, but he's still in the pit. So, and he comes out and finishes race, is actually well done for him. A lot of guys will just plug here.
No, I'm pretty sure you won't pull the plug. I mean, he is quite high up in the point standings at the moment in the championship. So even if he just comes out and he just keeps pushing just to finish the race, I'm pretty sure that he can still get a decent few points and maintain his point standings in the championship, or at least only drop maybe 1 or 2 positions instead of all the way down to last.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see.
Talking about the championships, Daniel Mitchell is currently from Simrace Experience. He's 63 points, followed by Blake Creo, who's already now he pulled out, so he's got no chance tonight. Michael Russ is 3rd, and he's now in 13th. Then we've got Stephen Sparks in 4th, Melvin Gous is in 5th, which is not the case anymore.
I'm not in 5th. It's Ron Gous. I'm sitting in the pit.
No, I'm talking about the overall team standings here in this championship. And then Donnie van Rooyen is in 6th, so Donnie's going to have a good one after this race. And then, Jason is not there. Blake is unfortunately falling.
Yeah, well, Blake is currently the strongest of the lot, except for Donnie. So Blake might take the lead in the championship after this.
Yeah, and also,
so he's still in the points there.
You have a look in the front now. Jason Null has found his groove again. He's back only 0.6 second to Peter Grobler, and he's automatically pulling back with him there. So there's still a fight, guys. It's not over. Peter can't relax. Peter is definitely under pressure. I think that guy is sweating a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Well, at least Jason can relax a bit. He doesn't have to really worry about Stewie that's behind him. because Stuart Mack is actually one of the back markers, but you can see that Stuart Mack is well up with the top guys. He is on pace. He just had a bit of a rough start to this one.
He's definitely in there. Pink pool. Donnie van Rooij is currently in third. He's just been split actually by Stewie, which is sort of a back marker, really back, but he's quite a runner. And
he's a lap down. I think he might have pitted or he might have had some.
It's not a lap. He's only about 2 minutes down. It's not a lap, but he's there. And then Mitchell's still in the pits, unfortunately for him. And then Rihanna's back out, and that's so nice to see. But yeah, Peter, big pressure. And then Gous, look at this, guys. These guys are fighting harness under big pressure. Into Cocobanas they go now. And I wonder what's going to happen. This is going to be another one. We've seen it the whole night. Out of Cocobanas into Beach Straight. And then as they go through Butts Bend, it's going to be an interesting one to see what's going to happen through. Gous is obviously giving a lot of stick here to harness.
Well, Harness is quick. I mean, he only did a couple of laps today, and he's really holding on to the lead. Michael there, I think he's currently they're coming up to lap him, so he definitely has damaged his car and really struggling at this time of the race. But yeah, it's all about the points. Sadly, Peter Gelden, as I see, DNF, Lyle Ramsey, DNF, and the lot of us.
What happened to Peter?
Yeah, I just realised now Peter has got a DNF. It wasn't his race tonight. I mean, he really struggled. He was on pace, and after that incident with Donnie van Rooij, it seems like his car was just completely not. It wasn't handling anymore, and I think he called it quits.
I mean, it was actually very well. But anyway, there we see Gous making a move on Harness. They went through what is there. This main straight has helped a lot of guys to overtake actually. Not being main straight where the guys couldn't pass another. Like Tommy said earlier, you make a good move out of Beacon, main straight. Harness now, he's not letting go actually. He's 0.2 of a second onto Gous again. So Harness says you overtook me, but I'm going to take my position back.
He's definitely going back forward. Just keep your head, guys. It's another 35 minutes to go.
Long race.
We're about halfway with the race, so it's still a decent amount of laps that they have to do. And like I said earlier, the longer it's your braking points differ, and your car also gets a lot lighter, so you tend to pick up a lot more speed coming down the main straights and into these corners.
It more or less cancels one another out. And if I look at Peter now up front, he's maintaining that gap. Jason slowly catches him and then he just pulls it away again. And then also Donnie is not making any impact on Stewie. So Stuart Mack keeping that gap between him and Donnie the same as well. And then Steven Sparks not out of it. He's up there in fourth place just behind Donnie. So between the four of them, there's about 10 seconds. So anything can still happen, as we saw what happened with Mitchell. It could go wrong so quick. So they've literally got to keep their head together here and just try and maintain their position and stay on track.
I just had a here. I think you might be right, because Blake, currently in fifth, will definitely overtake Dennis. And not even wins. Really, he's going to be after Blake. Make an impact, but not that bad. So I think Blake is currently in the best position overall standing wise. So it might work for him. And then, Championship's got 2 rounds for a 1 week break. Then after that, we're going to come back with also a new track. I've been there in real life. Yeah, one of the few tracks I've been to. Midvaal. Midvaal Raceway is going to be an interesting one. Guys, if you haven't seen this track, real life and virtual, you slightly off, you're gone. Oh, there's a car that spun. Oh, there we go. It was Gous. Unfortunately, Harness, actually. Oh, Richard Clark. That's it. Richard Clark just spun out. That's costed him a lot. And there he goes again. I think he's just batting to get that car back on track.
And it looks like Gous lost it.
Gous is still in. It was actually Clark.
Is it Clark that went off?
Yeah, Clark went off and he just battled to get back on. So, yeah, that's pushing now. Also 1 lap down.
Yeah. Once you go off of these cars, you struggle to get back on the track. And once you get back onto the track, you need to keep in mind that your tires is full of dirt and grass and gravel. And you need to drive it for a bit before you can actually really rejoin the track and start racing again. Because the moment you rejoin and you just floor it, you're just going to lose it again. And I think that is what happened there with Richard Clark.
Yeah, so we got... Overall, there's no real battles here. We've got Grobler. The closest one we've got is with Nal. That's the one we're watching now. So we've got leaderboard update. We've got Peter Grobler, Jason Nal in the patch. We've got Donnie van Rooyen that's joined up in third. Then we've got Steven Sparks, fourth. Got Blake Creer sitting in fifth. But he's catching Steven, eh? Guys, he went from 10.4 all the way down to 8.2 now. He's definitely catching. Josie that had there, he's in 6. Hannah Sibasson in 7. Clark is making it 8. Stewie Mack is in 9th. Michael Russ is in 10. Good to see him still be there in the Volvo Cars Namibia livery. James Leach, nice to see him still out in the 11th position. Then we've got Van Wyk that's joining. I love this livery. Guys, have you seen the guy's car? It's so beautiful. Jan van der Westhuizen also 13th. Peter Geldenhuis is unfortunately out. And then guess who's out on track, guys?
Dennis Mitchell has gone.
Mitchell!
He's 3 laps down, but he's 7 laps down, but he's back.
He's back out, and that's all he wants. I think he just wants to get 1 or 2 points and at least have a chance and not out too much for the race.
Well, if I'm correct, I haven't got the points in front of me, but he's got a handful of points in back there. So just push it to the finish. He's going to have fresh tyres. He's going to have a fresh car. He's obviously filled very light now, so he might make up some really good times here. He's not going to make up any positions, but we can surely watch his lap times. I think he is going to fly now.
Got some good old racing coming up. I'm just looking at the calendar, Melvin, and like I said, after our 1 week, so next the 18th of February in Phakisa, going to make for an interesting one. That the guys that know Phakisa is also quite a tight track. And then we've got a 1 week break, which brings us to Midvaal on the 4th of March. Aldo Scribante is going to be another nice track to be on. We've got Zwartkops, which is also a nice one. We've done that one broadcast there. And then we've got Roy Hesketh, which is also a new track for me. Never been there, never seen it, never commentated or looked at the track. It's an interesting track. 2.9 kilos long, lap record of 59 seconds at 3 kilos long. And opened in 1953 in... It's quite a really nice little circuit. And then we've got the Evis famous 1st of April Stony Rust Reverse. And guys, that's not a April.
Well, you can see Hannah's giving way to Mitchell, already starting to find his way back here. I think Dennis is kicking himself there. He had it in the back and sadly lost it, probably commentator's curse. But yeah, he's back on track. Glad to see that he didn't quit out and... glad he's going for the points. That's what you need. I mean, commitment.
What did you guys think he did in the last 10 minutes he was out?
Well, to go back to the calendar quick there, Charl. You said that the final race for the Ginettas is actually on Tony Rust Reverse.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder whose clever idea that might have been.
You know what?
It's a fast track.
I mean, that is... I don't want to sound mean or anything, but that's the most brutal track you can try and drive in these cars.
Actually not. I mean, I did some practice laps on it, and if you give it a lot of wing, yeah, you lose a bit on the straight, but it's so stable.
But it's such a bumpy track, Melvin.
Yeah, but you play with the anti-roll bars a bit, and it actually... I don't want to talk too much because then I'm going to give my setup away, but there's a lot that could be adjusted on this, and you can make the thing really drivable. Not as quick, but it's so stable.
Tires last quite long because you only touch the tarmac once in every 3 meters.
Yeah, you said.
Well,
Guys,
to think back to the Polo Cup that we had on 2020, I mean, the final race we had was, I think it was on that, also on Tony Rust Reverse.
Yep.
And it was brutal. You come down the main straight, you're doing 200 odd Ks an hour, and then you have to slam on the brakes for a slight right-hander into a 90-degree right-hander as well. You end up losing most of the time. You lose down that straight into that turn. I can only imagine. I mean, these guys is doing what, almost 300 k's an hour. It's gonna be hectic going down there.
Guys, back to the action quickly. Peter Krobel running away with this. I don't think it is Jason that's tapped off, because he has 5.2 ahead of Jason, but the gap between Van Rooyen and Sparks to now is still only 1.5. So Van Rooyen is catching. I think maybe Jason Nell's also slightly tapping off. Not sure if it's tires. I don't think so. He was not mishandling, but Donnie is really coming in.
Donnie are definitely pushing really, really hard.
I was waiting deliberately to see what Melvin's going to do. He's just...
No, my ping just quickly went up again. So yeah, just looking into that.
Your ping, definitely. Was your voice even...
I went it.
No, you didn't. Actually.
No,
Anyway,
silent.
Look at Donnie, guys. Donnie is 0.8 of a second onto Jason. This is going to make an interesting one. What do you guys think is going to happen? Jason going to let him go? Or knowing that Donnie is faster? Or Jason going to give him a battle like he did with Grobler? If you want me, take me.
He's definitely going to give him a battle. He's not just going to let Donnie go on this one.
Jason, I've raced against Jason, and he's a really, really great racer. So he's not going to back out of it. But I think, looking at his lap times, he's running on his lap delta is actually quicker now. So he's not going slower. Donnie's actually going faster.
And Jason's not, I don't think, won't race Donnie in such a way that costs him or Donnie's race. He'll give Donnie a battle, but I don't think he won't make it difficult to take them both out. So, but Donnie was close, really back down 1.4. You know what? Donnie is pulling a Tommy Leary.
What do you mean with that, Charl?
Come on, Tommy. Know your favorite position.
What, third position?
Exactly. Always you find yourself into a third and fourth, and then Tommy Leary picks himself there. He waits for the guy in front of him to make a mistake. That's your move.
Yeah, I guess it's about patience. You push hard enough to get to the guy, but you have to wait till you have that opportunity to make the move. I mean, it's no point in trying to make a move that will end up with you taking yourself out or the person in front of you in any way costing you one or two or even more positions. So yeah, you settle into your position, you keep your race going, and you keep pushing as hard as what you can and just wait for that right opportunity.
But good with that, man. But good.
Yeah, I had very good tutors when it comes to the sim racing. I mean, when I started, I had no idea what I was doing, and I had you and Melvin and Peter. I had all of you guys that was coaching and giving advice and getting me into this and helping me to get better. So it's not just on myself. It's a big thanks to all of you as well.
That's not mine, sadly.
What you do?
No, that was Tommy's.
Oh, Tommy.
Okay, anyway, sorry, just had to answer this. In between the Discord and YouTube and the WhatsApps and stuff, bit of multitasking here. But yeah, getting back to the racing, Charlotte, I think Peter's he's just ghosting now. He's keeping that gap exactly on 4 seconds. He's actually on his time delta. He's off on his time, so he's backing off. He's saving the tires. He's saving the fuel. He's not pushing it. Jason, on the other hand, looking at his lap delta, he's right on it. He is pushing really hard. Donnie is about half a second off his quickest laps, so not sure if he's starting to get tire wear now, but it doesn't seem like he's falling back.
Peter, Peter had a huge accident. Oh, unfortunate pity.
Oh, just as we talked about it, saying he was. That's what happens if you You try, that's caused Leandre Sparks to go off.
Yep. No, it's Steven.
Steven Sparks, sorry. Or Peter being the gentleman waiting for him. That was just bad luck. I mean, that's that little loss of concentration.
Shows you what can happen. Twice tonight, I think Peter is fuming himself. I can still miss a slongafong. But now look at Donnie. Donnie is also right onto Jason, 0.6 of a second. So Donnie is gained on that one, and they're catching a back marker. So it's going to be interesting when they're going to try and get past this, and what's going to happen. I mean, is James Leach going to let them go through, or is Donnie going to use James Leach to gain onto Jason? Yeah.
I think this is going to be a hit game. We've seen Donnie in the oval tracks on Sunday. He is really, really, really quick through traffic. But Jason is an old hand. He knows his way around the track, and it is home soil. He's in the lead. He is not going to back out. I'm just reading on the YouTube here as well. Wayne saying Jason will keep pushing. He will not back out.
No,
so
definitely,
I
we
think
know.
Look forward to a really good dice here, and then also Blake finding himself in third place.
Yep, he is going to gain.
But again, Steven Sparks and Donnie is only a couple of seconds. Peter is only a couple of seconds behind him. So towards the end, I think it's going to get pretty close.
There's still 20 odd minutes to go, and I don't know what's going to turn out. Yeah, Marius van Wyk now also back marker. They're going to play a role, because now we've got Sparks is going to try and get through Peter Globro. But also, look at this gentleman driving. I think here from Van Wyk. That is, I think, a real gentleman of letting the fast guys go through.
Well, okay, James just spun off on another screen than you, and I just saw James going off. So that has left the field open for Jason, and we see. That's it. I mean, that it was a hard hit into the tyre wall, and I think that broke his car completely. Spark goes off there.
Andrea, I've still back. He's just lost one position, but he's the action back fighting. Donnie van Rooyen. I just want to quickly have a look at the battle. Donnie is still on 0.6 of a second down from Jason. Jason not letting up, and that's lucky to see.
Well, as reading on the YouTube, it's East London boys 1 and 3, and then we've got a sprint car driver right in the middle of them. And Donnie's a big guy. If he's coming up behind me, I'll get out of his way.
Yeah, Donnie. Yeah, if Donnie gets out of the car, you'll jump out of his way. When he's in the car, he's just as big as you. Anyway, now, guys, if anybody wants to get into racing, there are a lot of South African, and everyone offers something different. So, if you guys are interested, have a pop through. Go to our Facebook page. This is Sim Race Africa, and join us in there. Go to our YouTube channel, and you guys can sign up there. We will definitely help you guys set up. There's always equipment for sale, and like I say, there's different communities. Home, you're safe, and your wife even let you go to the racetrack without
Sorry, I had to chuckle there.
You know what?
I'm at the racetrack every night.
Yeah. Alrighty, and then
anyway, so Donnie closing right up now. He's down to 0.4, 0.3. So Donnie is going for it, and
I'm getting a lag spike here, and
he's starting to make moves.
Bad lag spike, Melvin. Back now.
Well, I'll try and keep the guys posted here on what's happening. Donnie, as they go down the main straight, he's right in the slipstream of Jason. So, and he's going on the inside. he's going for a move, and one eyes backed out of it. I think that was a clever boy, Donnie. You do not want to go side by side through there.
Oh, no, Potters is definitely not a place you want to get side by side. Although we've seen it tonight a lot of times, and through River as well. Yeah, Rifle they've gone through, but Jason is still getting to that lead, 0.5 a second. I wonder how his nerves is. He must be sweating. He knows Johnny is fast, and he knows Donnie's back.
Well, he's flashing lights, so he's probably watching the stream or something.
Yeah, that's so forth. Guys,
Come on, Dr. Boy. We've lost two leaders tonight. Don't be the next victim.
No,
I don't want
don't
to
do
curse
that.
you.
Let's just jump off him because now you're going to curse him. No, anyway, guys, for you guys in East London, you know, you guys want to get into motorsport, a brilliant club down on the road from you guys. Pop over to the website. I mean, you guys want to definitely go and visit them. I'll pop it up for you guys here. Went up on them there. There's quite a good old resource. In the contact us page, you guys can see the Border Motorsport Club. Here's the telephone numbers. Chairman is Andrew Kershagen. Join him up. Carol's vice chairman. And then if you get hold of anybody, just contact them there. And they will definitely help you set up where to go, what is about the circuit, and also about their Reach Foundation. That is something us to all. So if you guys want to do that, pop over to them, Border Motor Club, and sign up. That is where you want to be. Get into any car racing or any car events. And I'm pretty damn sure if you want to just be part of motor racing but don't have the funds, be a marshal, be a safety marshal, be a safety assistant, be a pit lane, be somebody in there, but just get out, enjoy, and make new friends. I think at the end of the day, Melvin, you know more than us. Tommy, you as a racing family, not just yourself, it's a camaraderie.
Yeah, it's. I mean, motorsport is just something different, and that's a nice thing about sim racing as well. It just brings so many people from so many different levels and places together, from oval track races to pure sim races to circuit racing, rally drivers. Everybody is in there, and everybody is on equal terms when it comes to sim racing. Of course, you've got basically the same gear, the same car, the same options.
Oh, that's a nice thing, eh? It's and like we said so many times, you can spend 50,000 rand. It can be 1,000 rand altered down table.
Yeah, and there is some people believing in more expensive equipment is better. I can assure you it's not. You do not go quicker. You actually just struggle more.
Yeah. That, but it's not always the rig. Not always. I've seen definitely driver skill, driver error. I'm speed. I'm your speed.
Just out of interest here, Charl, I'm watching the times the whole time. Blake was down 27 seconds. He's closed this gap up to about, there it goes again. Oh, it's just a factor playing around. No, he's still at about 27, 28 seconds behind Darmy.
Yeah, I've got him on 18.4 on the leaderboard. So he has caught up, but he's not jumping up too fast. With 14 minutes to go to gain 18 seconds, I think unless the leaders are making a mistake, they should probably stay where he's been so consistent in. There wasn't much mistakes as we see him through the aces, ever so gentle. No, he's just looking after this. There we go. I just see it here saying Wayne saying Blake is running a G5 wheel. I mean, there you go. That's a good golly, Melvin, 7-year-old wheel, 8-year-old wheel, and he's sitting in third position.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm a big fan of Logis. You know, I had plenty of them, and they just don't break. And for everybody getting into sim racing, Logitech for me is the way to go. From there's a lot of different options, but the most bulletproof thing you can get is a Logitech, no doubt about it.
They do make a good product, and I must admit, I've had both, and so far I bought. You know, this one from what it is lasted 10 years old, and it's still running super.
Well, Richard has just gone off. He's getting back onto track. Little spin. It's first time. He's actually on the Logitech tonight as well, and first time on it, and still getting to grips with it. So Michael up in 8th, just running all alone there. Hannes Basson all on his own. So not much happening at the rest of the field. Steven Sparks quite a way back from probably now.
Ian just had a big old slip. He just went super wide, exactly where Mitchell had a spun off. And let's see, there he goes, jump to the pits. I just knew he's not going to get out of that stand.
Now, once you get
Anyway,
stuck, it's over.
Van Wykie there also sitting in the 11th position. So East London, they are definitely, how can we say, he's ticking off the retirements as they go along. We've got 5 now. And then Mitchell, is he on or off? Because he doesn't have a time. He's on. Oh, there we go. Got only 3 retirements so far for this. But Mitchell sitting comfortably there in 3rd. Van Rooyen back out to the front, 0.7 seconds behind him. Now already in lap 34. So that was quite a lot of laps. And 12 minutes to go, Melvin. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think Donnie's going to get him?
I think both of them. Donnie is now he's trying to catch him, but he's not gonna overdo it. He's gonna wait patiently and see if he can catch up. And I think Jason
had a slide there as they went through Cox's corner. Jason went sideways, and that has costed him. Now Donnie is right onto him. Look at Donnie. Oh, Donnie clipped the curb.
Oh, Donnie, you see that talking about.
Unfortunately for him, that he just clipped that curb and he pushed the car up. We could see that right rear wheel lifted up. It pushed him off. So I think Jason, as bad as it is just smiling and relieving himself in that car.
Yeah, like Wayne says, the last 10 minutes fatigue will start to kick in and you lose your concentration, and that's usually when we see mistakes. I mean, on Tony Rust a week or two ago, I was lying in 3rd with Peter Gelderhuis breathing down my neck, and on the last lap I drove it into the tyre wall. I still managed to finish, but I lost the position. So you tend to get brain fade after about 45 minutes.
That's why there's good endurance races and sprint races. You get good oval track races, and then you get the odd guy that's good in everything. Just probably Peter Dewald-Kortze, Peter Gelderhuis, Alan, I'm thinking of those guys, Jason, those guys, James Leach, those guys are all good in everything. There's not really one thing they stand out good at.
I'm just, again, checking the times here. Peter is, at one stage, he was catching Blake. He's up on his lap delta, but once he gets into the S's and the turny bits, he loses almost a second. So he's definitely damaged his car in that off.
Oh, the tyres are starting to wear. So they don't have the grip. They've got the downforce on the straights, but on this they don't have the slow downforce.
And then if you look at Blake is up. He's up for his fastest lap now, 10 minutes before the end of the race. So he's managed to save his tyres. On these cars, once you damage the aero, it's a completely different car show. It tends to eat away the tyres. It gets wiggly. It gets bad.
Fastest lap Mitchell, 120.4 now. So even as he's in 12, 1 lap down, he's still giving it. He's not giving up. This guy's going for it. Oh, Van Rooyen now onto Nel. Nel is in a comfortable, I think he's bring it home. I don't want to curse him too much. I've got high hopes for him, and I really wish he does. He deserves this. Then Donnie van Rooyen is in 2nd position. Blake is down 3rd. So Donnie is in the East London sandwich at this moment in time. Peter Grobler on the same car is now in 4th. And we've got Sparks, and then look at the back here. We've got Steven Sparks that just slightly went in with Michael Rust, as these guys are now racing each other. But we've got 5th and 8th that's giving each other gas. Steven onto Michael. Michael, just hang on to that one. Oh, and there he goes. Michael touching Steven, unfortunately, on the back, and that's made him spin off. Yeah, it happens, It happens.
Oh, that was bad luck. It looks like he had a bit of a lag spike. He just jumped back and forth on track, and
he had that. We saw that as well last week, I mean, just a little bit, and he just throws the guy out.
So that has given 5th place to
Gous
now. So I'm not sure if Steven is going to push to get back to 5th place, or if he's going to settle now for 6th. There's 8 minutes plus a lap remaining, so
even Sparks can be at 6th. I think it's comfortable. And championship standing should match. Already in 4th now. By finishing 6th, Gous is underneath, way underneath. problem is underneath, not so far, but it's only about exactly 7 points. So that's it. And then Blake Creer's obviously going to gain, so it won't affect. Donnie van Rooyen's not going to, and then Nel doesn't affect all. So he's comfortable with it. Doesn't have to really.
Well, I can promise you, I need to get Nel in here, even while we're speaking now, towards the end of the race.
Leave him. He's on a flyer. Don't jinx. Now. Rather let him finish. Ask what he's nervous about.
I'll let him finish, but we need to get him because he's going to be ecstatic. So we'll put him in here once he crosses the finish line, and then hear what's going on in that sim rig of his, or the car, as we should say.
I think he's going to be in a good old high tonight.
You can see on the graphics the car starting to show some wear and tear and dirt.
There it goes.
Yeah, it seems like we do have a problem tonight all through. I mean, you've had your time issues, I've had my issues. We've seen some cars having some lag spikes. Not sure if it's got to do with load shedding or anything going on in South Africa or wherever. But yeah, so far so good. We're still surviving, yeah.
But luckily, we don't have those bad lag spikes. You know, sometimes we can have a peak of running up to 700,000-800,000, and mine is stopped at 271. So it's not. Yeah, you just get that slight spike, and then it just sort of finds himself to be stable. So it's not that bad.
So the field pretty much spread out wide and far. I think the closest is Steven Sparks, but he's sort of lost his groove. I think he settled for 6 now. He's not pushing it really hard to catch Gous.
Donnie is still on it, eh? Donnie is still. He's gaining the laps as we count down. 5-6 minutes to go. Donnie is now 3 seconds behind. Well, 2.99 and then 2.98. So I don't think Donnie has given up. I think he still feels he's got time in the last closing 5 minutes of the lap, Melvin.
He never gives up.
Yeah, it's true as well, eh?
You can see the car starting to wiggle there on the braking. Donnie is really pushing it. Just keep a clear head, old man.
Oh no, definitely. Donnie quite hard. See it now. His lap time's dropped a bit. 3.3. Donnie is definitely going back now. I think he just wants to finish it. He should just finish it.
Yeah, for the points, but that's not Donnie. He will go until it is over. And they're catching up Havnas now. So if Havnas doesn't get out of the way quick enough, that's going to allow Donnie to benefit of it, because Havnas will immediately back off when he sees Donnie. He's driving his Fiesta in the Oval Track series, so they're sort of teammates. So he will try and give Donnie a little bit of a benefit here.
I won't say that. Hannes is just overall a good guy, and the blue flag, doesn't matter who it is, they will pull off right through the evening. So, too much of a team order going on here.
I don't think they enchanted, they can't talk about it, so...
Sorry guys for that.
Hey,
I'm back again.
Okay, so that's the closest battle going on. Blake, as I said, comfortably in third.
He's scratching him. Peter's definitely getting onto Blake. He's only 10 seconds behind him now. Zwartkops as well, also 12 points. Okay. But let's see now. Jason Null is now catching quite fast onto Harness. And let's see Harness running wide there as they go through the corner. And
he's backing off to give him room, so he's going to lift off on the straight.
Let's see.
You can see Jason.
Yeah, Jason is flashing. There we go. Harness went through, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Hope that.
Well, the rules state that the back marker must keep their line through a corner, and then once they get on a straight, they should try and move away as quickly as possible. So through here, Harness will keep his line, and Donnie will either have to pass him fair and square, or he'll have to wait for the next straight. Basically, we're doing that just to avoid people going left and right and onto the grass and into the wall.
It's always been a, there we go, you can see it now. Hannes just out of the corner, pulling off the racing line, and he's just literally tapping off, waiting for Donnie to go. So yeah, another good old respect for you, my friend. Respect. Who do we've got? Who are we going to watch? 2.5 minutes to go. Now 41 laps as it in the lead. We've got Donnie van Rooyen in second. Then we've got Kriya in third. And there's also another overtaking happening there. Then we've got Grobler also in the battle, as you can see him coming through the back. We've got Gous as well in there. We've got Andrew Sparks in 6. Hannes Bas 7. Michael Russ in 8. We've got Richie Clark in 9th. Mac is in 10th now. Van Wyk as well in 11th, but Mitchell in 12th, still going at it. Then
he's actually chasing Grobbies now for the fun of it.
He is.
And I can tell you, Peter, now he's not happy, man, in there, because that puts pressure on you that you do not want. So it won't surprise me if he backs out of it, or he's gonna have the fun and play it back. I mean,
like at 1.5 minutes, Mitchell will not do anything to make him spin off, but he's going to have some fun with him. 1.5 to go. We are almost in our last lap here. Then we should do a final one. Al now also coming up, having a flyer through rifle. Oh no, sorry, that was into Buds. Oh, there we go. Yes, Al just slightly lost that one. My heart went for him. God damn it, you can't do that. Yes.
In the closing stages.
Ew.
Oh, that just made Donnie gain a second on him. So
yes, I just got heartburn.
It might be an interesting last 2 laps that we're gonna have out here now.
Yo, no, I really got heartburn now. That's not even. Yo, that was. I went sweating for Jason's sake. 50 odd seconds to go here. We've got Donnie van Rooyen, big pressure on Tinel. 1.5 seconds.
It's going to work out in a way that they're going to have 2 more laps to go, because you've got time less 1 more lap. So they've actually going to have to do another lap after this.
I think so too, Melvin. But there's another back marker here, eh?
Yeah, it's 2 laps of hard racing that we're looking forward to. The last 2 laps after an hour, and there's only 1.6 difference between first and second.
Yeah.
Not bad.
And if you actually have a look, there's actually a back marker also in the mix now.
I think
and
it's
they're coming up to the aces, which is going to cause that he keeps his line through there, and is going to maybe allow Donnie to get even closer onto Jason now.
This is where Jason on the last lap almost had an altercation. You can see him there touching again on those curbs. Like Wayne said to us, it was a 10-degree fire gain temperatures. Oh, and then where Rian went off the track, but let's hope he joins safely. And that was close.
Donnie makes pass. Donnie's pushing. Donnie's not lifting off. He is really going for it.
2 laps more. 2 laps more to go in this closing stages of this race from East London. Prince George Circuit. Guys, if you ever have the privilege, go there. Go visit Border Motor Club. Go say hello to them. And I'm definitely sure they'll make you feel like a good old friend one day.
Well, I'm actually rooting here for Jason. It's going to be first win with SRA. It's going to be
on his home track.
He's been looking forward to this event. I mean, Tommy was in chat last night when I told him, "No, you didn't do enough laps. You can't race." he almost cried this. So if he pulls this off, it's going to be deserving. I'm going to get the Discord ready to put him in here, and whatever happens from here on, we will have the live reaction.
Definitely, you must really keep it ready. Final just lap. As he gets to that final, or just into Beacon. The main straight, you can pull him in so long.
Out of Beacon.
We can hear his live feed as he goes over the line.
Yeah, through the S's now for the final time. Here we got, guys, Jason Nell, local guy, bring home. Oh, he runs a little bit light there. Almost lost it. Donnie van Rooyen gained hugely. 0.5 of a second now behind him. Donnie running quite wide as they're going through into the back straight.
This is going to come down to a dice into the main road.
One last corner. Who's got balls and who's in? And there we go. Blake, I promise you, Jason now is in the final, flashing the light. And Jason took it. Local boyki. Well done.
Well, there you can hear the excitement live from Jason.
Yes! Wacht, Victory Donuts, fok het met pad uit.
Alrighty, guys,
Victory
there you can
Donuts,
see it. A lot of excitement here from Jason Nell as he just won the local track in the virtual road for the first time, cooking those tires up. Second position, Donnie van Rooyen.
Yes, boys!
Only got it there with 0.4 of a second from Donnie. Blakery, another local boykie in third. Peter Grobloff fourth. Kosen fifth. Sparks and sixth. Son 7. Rust 8. Clark 9. Mackie and 10. Van Wyk 11. Mitchell 12. And Van der Merwe wrapping it up in Jason, who fooled it?
My chum, wow. my very first endurance race that I won. What the flip on the home track. Damn. Champagne showers.
First one for SRA. You gave us all a bit of a scare the last lap when you almost lost it there.
My balls are sweaty, hands are not working, my eyes are squint, the beers are flowing. Where's my driving boot? I want to drink out of it.
well driven there. We had three leaders. You were the only one who kept it together. We had at one stage Dennis running away with it. He lost it all on his own. Then we had I think Peter Grobis, who also lost it all on his own. And you came through and you held your head. You took the one. Well done, buddy.
Thanks, man. It was difficult. When I saw Mitchell lose it, I thought, no. And then Grobis passed me, and I thought, okay, he's gone. I can't catch him. And then when he lost it, I thought, shit, I'm in the lead, man. And all I could think of is Donnie saying, when we were qualifying, Jason, check your name is on first, but it won't stay there for long. And damn, I put it back on first.
Well, nice job and well done. And yeah, we'll see you a bit later.
Lekker, boys. Thanks. Well done, you guys, for creating such an awesome event. Flipping well done. Thanks.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Let's get Donnie in here. The big man with a big heart. Donnie, you didn't back off for a moment. You fought right to the line.
Yeah, I tried my best, yes.
Well, drive off the day. Coming back from last, we just missed that altercation between you and Sheldon. I'm not sure what happened there. There was a bit of an issue after the start. But coming back from last, that was an intense battle, working your way through traffic. And as we said now, you fought right to the end. You never backed off for a second.
Yeah, what happened is I went a bit wide and I touched the grass and nobody bumped me. That was my own mistake. I think my fuel, the car was a bit heavy, so that caught me out a bit there.
Yeah, we saw it a couple of times. I mean, even Mitchell was leading quite a bit, and he went off. He just touched the grass, and it was the end of it. So, not a tricky track, a very unforgiving track, but I think a good race in general. And again, well done, and thanks for keep on going at it and not giving up.
Yeah, I was trying to catch Jason, but he was just the race wasn't long enough for that.
We were thinking it's going to be a drag to the line, but
yeah, it was close.
Cool. Okay, then, so we'll speak a bit. We're going to see who else we can get in there, and have a good night, man.
Thank you, Melvin.
Let's see if we. I don't think Robbie is going to want to speak to us. Charl, you think we should attempt that?
Do it, oh.
I think it should
Haven't
be
spoken
fine.
to Michael long time.
Let's get number 3 in here, Blake.
Hey, Blake, number.
Mr. Funny Bones. Blakey, up and down race, but in the end you found yourself in third.
How's it, Melvin? Oh my goodness. Yeah, that start was a disaster. Got spun out. I think I was like a quarter of a lap behind, to be realistic. But yeah, tried to just be consistent. So it planned out there. Made a few little mistakes, but yeah, lucky one.
I think the track was. It looks very easy. It feels very easy, but it's a lot more demanding than you would think, and it caught out a lot of guys.
Yeah, no, look, the rebound in the S's helps a bit with the little bumps. And Potters, if you make one mistake and you go off there, you're done. You got to go back to pits. So to get that corner right every single lap for 60 minutes was heavy concentration. Plus my bumper was damaged, so my aerodynamics were down. But yeah, I was about 0.2 off the front cars at the end. So yeah, I'm glad I never went into the pits.
Well, that's well done. And as I said,
Thank you.
great drive coming from way back and finishing third.
Yeah,
That's
no.
well deserving. I
Well,
think
no,
we'll,
thanks,
we'll,
guys.
we'll do the points now, but I think that might push you ahead of in the field. Not sure, but we'll see.
I think, oh yeah, because Donny had a problem in the last race. Yeah,
That's
so it
correct.
might help. And Dennis Mitchell, yes, he fell back. He had an incident.
Yeah, he had bad luck.
yeah.
He went through potters and he literally just touched the grass, as you said now.
Yeah, there you go.
He sort of kept it together and then he got stuck. He couldn't get out of the gravel pit.
Yeah, I ran an extra wing on the back, extra click on the wing just for that, to be consistent. Although I was a bit slower, but I knew it would help me not spin out there, because that's risky.
Well, again, well done, Blakey, and we'll chat in a bit.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it again. Cheers.
Cheers,
Have a
man.
good evening.
Well, Charl, I think that's it for the evening.
Yeah, well, it seems like it's you and me left here on the commentators booth.
Oh, I'm still here.
So, oh, Charl's still here. I thought Charl might have left us. But Melvin, I think that was a good race. I think it was quite interesting. There was a lot of battles going on, and then obviously later through the race it got separated a bit. But overall it was well done, and I have to say hats off to all the drivers that was racing tonight. A bit of bad luck for Dennis Mitchell and Peter Grobler, but other than that, I must admit, Jason, he actually did deserve to win this one. He really stuck it out there and really kept his cool straight through the race.
And consistent. I think he was
Yes,
a very
definitely.
good driver here. Hour and a half ago, but I think that not spinning out, not getting off track really was his good key to winning tonight.
Yeah, it was, I mean, the racing was, as I said to Downey earlier, or to Blake, I think, the track is unforgiving. You wouldn't think it until you drive it. And I literally haven't driven a lap in the Ginetta on it, so I can't really say. But Phakisa, on the other hand, next week is going to be a lot easier. What I can say, though, is it is quite hard on the wheels, especially in the Ginetta. It does tend to heat up the wheels, especially your DD wheels and some of the Thrustmasters. The Logis, again, no problems. They're fine there. But yeah, we have found that some of your higher end wheels do tend to either overheat or get very hot there. So that's going to be another factor that you'll need to think about running for an hour. Take the force feedback down and compensate a bit to try and get to the end and not break your rig or your equipment.
That's the next race, and yeah.
And definitely we'll see each other on the next race, and hopefully we'll have a good one then again. It will be Phakisa next week, but before that we will have another round of our Oval Series, which should be on Tuesday night if I'm not mistaken. So guys, tune in, stay safe, and we'll see you next week.
Yes.
Cheers, boys.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.